What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Brother Lee Hubbard out of the great city of San Francisco, who has been a really good contributor to the Black Manosphere online. We give him a round of applause to the brother. Go Niners. He sent me this article performed by the Pew Research Center. Now, it is an article that is older, but it is one that needs to be discussed. And I really want to talk about this in relations to Black men, because I believe this is where you get a lot of the infrastructure of the formation of the Black Manosphere community. And that is understanding Black men's position in Black America from the mindset of the Black community. And when you look at Black families in general, we've all had step relatives, step families. I have a step mom. I have step brothers. And that is because, you know, my family was quite dysfunctional, still is to a certain degree. But my father had many different baby mamas, and he's married twice. And he had a saying that said, if she's blaming, I'm claiming. In other words, if a woman said that she was pregnant by him, he would accept the baby and also the children that she currently had. That was just how Black America was at that time, especially, coming from the rural South. Like my family, both parts of my family came from Louisiana in the Great Migration. But what you started to see is that in the Black community, Black men have always, and Black men still, 1 in 4 Black men have a stepchild, in comparisons to 14% of Black women. Black men are also much more likely to have than white or Hispanic men to say that they have stepchildren. And socioeconomic factors show that usually the more you're likely you are to be a step parent, the poorer you are. The less likely you are to have a college education, the less likely you are to have a good salary. And people are actually more happier when they grow up, usually with their own family members versus having step families. It wasn't so much of a big difference, like 78% to 70%. And I want to talk about this because many Black men are giving resources to women in the Black community, historically, that are not your children. What do you get out of that? Outside of somebody saying thank you, you get nothing, usually. I mean, because it does not help the economy. It has not helped with, Black wealth and these gaps. Like look at the killings are still going up. So this is not changing the narrative. What you're seeing is a lot of women that have these children, they are confident that they can get somebody else to raise them. And typically what happens is the person who is the step parent could or could not give the same energy and feel obligated as the father than the father that's real. Okay? That's the truth. That's the truth. What is the family obligation? And I really want to talk about this because one of the things that Black men can do is to say no to this as much as possible. Now, I do understand there's some great step parents out there. I myself have, none of your business, but I've adopted people as if they're my own children and stuff like that. I've looked at people like that before in my life, still do. Okay? But am I their full-time stepdad? No. And I will tell Black men that you should raise the standards of Black America by saying no to being a stepfather. The reason why is because you're more likely to be poor if you say yes. You're more likely to not have been educated if you say yes. And all you're doing is ruining your chance with a woman in our community that you can pair with that don't have children. If you want to help the black community, you go create and take care of your own children. If you want to mentor on the side, that's okay. I don't have an issue with that. But just the fact that black men are signing up for this shows me that a lot of black men don't have a high self-esteem. Even black women, only 14% of them, according to this article, will not accept usually being a stepmom. Meaning that they can even have kids. You can have kids. They are less likely to be your stepmom than they're looking for a stepdad and not looking to be a stepmom. You see how this works? At a 10% more click. All right. So black men are almost 2 times more likely than black women to be a stepmom. Then you wonder why you don't get no respect. You don't get no respect because you don't have the standards. Okay. If more black men started to say, listen, I understand what you're saying. You have a child already. I mean, I understand that. But listen, I want to have my own children. I want to make our community a lot better. All right. So that my kids, if they're full-time brothers and sisters, because the whites have the lowest rate in comparison to Hispanics and blacks. And it makes sense why those groups do better, because they have more of an intact family unit. When you're mixing together families and things like that, you have guys who may not be interested in taking care of those kids as much. Then we all know what the black divorce rate, so the step parents get divorced. Then what? Some of y'all have like 2 or 3 stepdads. And black men have to be willing to help themselves and say, no, I don't want to be a stepdad like the black men of old, because those guys got nothing out of it. They didn't get any respect because they didn't respect themselves. I'm not saying that stepdads disrespect themselves by being stepdads. I'm not indicating that solely. But I am saying that if you want a community to be better, you marry the woman, you start off on the right foot, then you raise your kids together. I understand that things happen. But this number indicates why we are where we are. Because what happens to stepchildren? Oh, you can't talk to my son like that. Oh, you can't discipline my son. You ain't my daddy. You see all the foolishness you go through with that? But you're expected to still take care of the child. You can't even really parent the child. Some of you guys are in relationships with women. She has babies by somebody else, and she got kids by you. You can only discipline your kids, but her kids, you can't do nothing to. Only thing you can do is buy them food and all that and school clothes. It's a mess. It's too much drama. Baby daddy issues. Who got time for all of that? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first link at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.